So this is the evening of the 13th of September, the Parayan of Aptavani 13, session number 6, Prakruti number 6, the Prakruti, and the Gnani turns to all the Mahatmas who are gathered in the Dada Nagar hall, thousands, close to 10,000 Mahatmas. As we begin further reading of the Aptavani 13, in the chapter of Prakruti, which has been shared with everyone, the Prakruti iBook has been shared, and that is what I am using as a reference, and we will be reading from page 102. So the evening session of 13th of September 2015, Parayan, Aptavani 13. The heading will be Awareness in front of Prakruti. As we see our Gnani, Jai Sachidanand, the awareness of eternal is bliss. I bow to the Absolute Self, the Paramatma, who resides within you with a oneness and a deep sense of devotion and namaskars. Jai Sachidanand. How are the Mahatmas in the gigantic hall? There is another hall where the senior Mahatmas are sitting there. So in addition to the current hall, there is another hall where that hall accommodates another 2,000 Mahatmas. And so Jai Sachidanand to them, they're watching this Parayan through live screens, big screens. Let us continue for reading further. Very beautiful talk is coming. Jai Sachidanand. Awareness of in front of Prakruti. Questioner, you say keep on doing the work. Instead of that, is it not appropriate to say let the work happen? Dadashri says no. The intent behind saying keep on doing the work is that whatever work is going on in the Prakruti, let that work continue. Do not even obstruct. Do not obstruct. You remain in your effort as the self only. Whatever, just continue to see what the Prakruti is doing. Questioner, what I meant to convey is that whatever is already happening, to that we say do it this way, but it is indeed happening, is it not? Dadashri says it is happening, but in order not to obstruct, we say do it. Now there is nothing to be done, that is called obstruction. When you say there is nothing to be done, that is called obstruction. You cannot say everything is happening, now there is nothing to be done. Our Vijnana is such that we have received the knowledge of the self without finishing all our karma. And so there is anger, ego chit complex are also there, intellectual complex is there in the discharge also. Yes, the charging part is over. However, the discharge, ego, mind, intellect, and the chit are still happening. And then if you say, oh, we have received the knowledge of Vyavasthit Gnan, we don't have to do anything, then the ego and the intellect will take over and it will create obstructions and create breaks for the self, you see. Therefore, it is very important. You have tried to do everything to save the glass that is falling down, and once it breaks, then you can say it is scientific circumstantial evidences. Your positive effort should be there until the last moment. You see, the student has to study the best and also does the best result in the examination, and then the result is part of the effort. You cannot say it is all vyavasthit that I don't need to do any studies, etc. And so, because the ego did the obstruction, so this is a very important discovery, Dada, that you should not obstruct the Prakruti. You should. But otherwise you will create a break in the Prakruti, like you're obstructing the Prakruti. And yes, it is happening, but in order not to obstruct, we said now there is nothing to be done. That is not to be. That is called obstruction. You cannot say everything is happening now. There is nothing to be done. Let the Prakriti run as it Prakriti. You keep seeing it. That is why we tell you to drive the car with your eyes open. Do we not? Do people drive their cars with their eyes closed? Can one drive a car with his eyes closed? This is how everything has to be done with the awakened awareness, Jagruti in the state of Gnan. So you have to do everything best. You must have the most positive efforts to do what is necessary to do. So you have to do your best to take care of what is necessary. If the car stops after attaining this Gnan, turn the handle. Before there were cars with handles, you had to jump start it from the front where the note. Now if the car stopped, one had to turn the handle and start it again. So turn the handle on the S capital self and do not apply brakes to the Pudgal, the Prakruti. Many people apply brakes to the Prakruti with, oh, it'll be fine if you don't say anything. You should not apply brakes. Let Pudgal, the non-self complex, run on its own temperament. Do not put brakes like it is vyavasthit, it is not. Is it not? It is like this and it is like that. Why do you have to apply the brake? It runs so well within its temperament, it will really ruin. Questioner, yes, and we should apply the handle of the self. Apply the handle of the S capital self. Yes, increase your awareness. Did everybody do the Samaik this morning? It was a very good. Without touching the conduct, you see, we were changing the conduct, we were trying to change the understanding through separation, 9 columns, you see, etc. We were trying, that is where you try to, the awareness of separation, Purusharth, etc. The evidences of flawlessness, double A, double B, etc. We teach a little boy that if a small hole, then you have to, you see, you have to you jump this much. If it's a bigger hole, then you have to jump a little heavier. No, the child will automatically jump depending on the size of the hole. He doesn't need to be. The Prakriti knows how much to jump automatically. If you put too many brakes on the Prakriti, then it will become deformed. If a mother is very critical to the child, then it will create. You're not supposed to put any brakes on the Pudgal. You're not to put any brakes on the Pudgal. With 31. Questioner, yes. And we should apply the handle of the S capital. So Dadashri says, yes, apply handle to the self and do not apply brakes to the Pudgal. Many people apply brakes to the Pudgal saying, it is only Vyavasthit. Is it not? You will end up applying the brakes. But Vyavasthit is only after it happens. Until then, let the car run by itself. Let the Pudgal run wherever it goes, the way it wants to. Do not apply brakes to it because it is just has to be seen. Applying the brakes will not work. And on the contrary, it will collide. It is a collision. If you apply brakes, then it will only collide. Nothing else will be changed. And to apply the handle to the self is the upyog or the applied awareness. Maintain some awareness, slow down, and you become aware. Slow down and you become aware, you see. Questioner. People say that one should have discipline or niyam. One should apply the brakes or discipline. What about that? Dadashri says, for our Mahatmas, we have only given the 5 agnas. There is nothing of this for the Mahatmas. All this I have said, it has been for the outside people, those who are not Mahatmas. Questioner, our Mahatmas say that one should have discipline. It should be like this. Dadashri says, they will say whatever they have filled within their Prakruti. The other person who has not filled discipline within him, he will say that. That is not the question. How do we know what kind of stock one has filled? He has come with all kinds of stock, and that stock keeps coming out. For us, one following our 5 agnas, we do not have any condition or demand. And He may go where he wants to, may eat what he wants. He follows the agnas weekly. That is why we have to tell him this extra thing about applying the handle of the S capital self. If you say it will be fine, if I do not go to the office, then it will go wrong. Apply the handle of the S capital self of the soul and do not interfere with the Prakruti. Why are you late? What happened? What happened? Where did you go? You say, why did you not call? Etc. You see, in other words, so the young man has just come home and the mother takes him on from all this time, all the ways. And so he doesn't like to come home then. We do not know that not only are we putting brakes on our own Prakruti by putting all kinds of obstructions in it, by interfering with our own Prakruti, but we are also obstructing with the Prakruti of others. And so we really avoid the naturalness in our interactions with others. You see, now, if you criticize her food too much, then the next day you will find that the food will be different. If you're disturbing her Prakruti, she's serving you food. If you don't say anything, then automatically the tea will come as it is supposed to come. Because words are so powerful and they create so much effect in the mind and in the inner complex of the other person that you have to be careful. If you say it will be fine, and if you say fine, if I do not go to the office, then it will go wrong. But when you do not say anything, he will keep on going to the office. This does not need a handle to be applied to it. This will keep going if you do not apply brakes to it. Questioner, what brakes were applied in the not following the 5 agnas? What brake gets applied in not following the 5 agnas? Dadashri says he has applied other brakes. What is wrong in not doing this? What is wrong if it happens this way? That is how he has applied the brakes. He has not released the brakes yet. He has always applied those brakes. That other is going on for him. It will continue. We had gone. We went there and somebody gave me a bicycle to ride. This bicycle was so sensitive that there were brakes with numbers, you see. I had ridden a bicycle which was an old bicycle 40 years ago. 1, 2, 3, the gears. It is as I apply those numbers, then the bicycle was going in all kinds of trembling. The bicycle was going on, so I wondered, and then 1 or 2 times I fell down also. And then somebody says, no, these are internal brakes. By internal brakes, you see this, and if I open up everything, then it will go very fast. So we did not know. These were kind of subtle gears in it, and so if I give a little push, it was going. So it was a very sensitive, it was a very high-tech bicycle that our Gnani Deepak Bhai was sitting on. So then I realized that these brakes, when you apply unnecessary brakes, that becomes imbalance. And when you let go of the brakes, then it flows smoothly and nicely. You can try to stop everything, to any loss or any damage. But if it breaks afterwards, then it is vyavasthit. Then it is scientific circumstantial evidences. It becomes imbalance because you apply too many brakes. If you do not allow, you see, apply the handle of 5 agnas. I want to remain in the 5 agnas. I want to remain in Nishchay only. Yesterday, let us do this one. Let us talk about break and then we will talk about Dakko. We do not want to go into interference right now. Let us talk about breaks right now. We do not want to talk about Dakko or interference. That other is going on for him. It will continue if you do not apply the break. And the break is not applied through the mind. It is applied through speech. It happens when you say it. Otherwise, it is not called a break. This is important. When you say it, then it is wrong. A negative thought in the mind is not called a break. And so my speech is open ego. And it's now. And so, why did you do it? You shouldn't do it like this. So little boy gets confused. And so through the ego, the breaks are happening. And the biggest ego is through spoken speech. And the other person gets a wound through the weapon of speech. He gets wounded and therefore he gets hurt. So if you got any kind of thoughts, it's okay, that's all right. But the moment you say it, then it creates an obstruction. It creates a break. and then it disturbs the Prakruti. Questioner, if there is some work and I say I will not do this work, I will not do the work, does that mean that the brake got applied? Dadashri says, brake is applied and it will remain like that. Until it is released, it will keep on wearing down. It will keep wearing down. Questioner, is still Vyavasthit is making one do that work for sure. Dadashri says it will make one do the work, but the brake will still remain applied. Applied brake will keep getting applied brake will keep getting ruined. All those brakes have to be released. This is the end of chapter 1.3. Now, what were you asking about interference? Supposing we do something for Dada's work, is that not, if we do some kind of extra manipulation, is that not kind of interference? I need to understand what Dakho means. A work is happening naturally. You see, the two ox are pulling a cart. You see, and the person who is riding, he jabs one of the ox with his sharp stick, and so the ox worries. Am I supposed to stop or do I keep walking? Suppose I have some light and I want to get it done. Let us do it this way. Let us do it this way. Is it some kind of manipulativeness? No, he should say, what do you think? Shall we do it this way? And if he says yes, then do it. If he says no. But there is a sense that we have to do it this way only, and that is manipulativeness. But if everybody agrees and if you do it without hurting the ego of the other person, then that is not called interference. Now, chapter 1.4, this question on page 111, isn't there a break when he says that I will not do this work, I will not do this work? Prakruti gets affected, I will not going to do it. It is a break on the Prakruti, I will not do it. The Prakruti will say, I will not do this work, I will not do this work. Means whatever we are doing, the ego has been hurt somewhere. And so we are putting a break. And how can you take? And then you have to slowly say, okay, no, let it be. Whatever is Vyavasthit is correct. Vyavasthit is making him do the work. It gets done through his nimit. But if he say, I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it, then they say you'll have to do it. However, your brakes will continue to wear down. So I don't want to do it is one big hole, and I want to do it is another big hole. Just see what is happening. Vyavasthit is the doer that makes you do it. It is not a question of whether you want to do it or you don't want to do it. You see what happens is the correct answer. So you're neither in the hole of I don't want to do it, and you're neither in the hole of I want to do it. You say I'm doing it. You see, if you are asked to come on inside the car 9 times and you're asked to get off the car 9 times, then you see, then it's correct. 9 means 5 gagnas plus 4, you see. You see, this is where you say get rid of, let go of the reins, R-E-I-N-S. Prakruti is under the control of Vyavasthit. The Prakruti is under the control of Vyavasthit, but you say, I'm doing it, and that is why it is all happening. You say, I'm not going to like it. I do not like it this way. I don't like to be treated like this, and then you became the doer. You see, you are not the doer. You are just to see what is the unfolding SCE of file 1. The machine of who is going to do it is already been set, and the entire lift is a machinery. The lift means elevator. You see everything. The light is the progression. And once the moment passenger enters the lift, and then the passenger touches a button, you see. There is, I say also here, this is file now. File 1 is a lift, you see. Ego is just you have to push the button. Somebody says, okay, you have to do it, then he says yes. You see, so number 3. And the moment you press the button, then the circumstances will come in front of you. The light, the soul is like the light in the elevator, and then somebody will say, right it. And it's entirely a machinery. Inside you can say, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to touch the lift or the elevator. You see, but you see, if you make the result, if you decide, then the result will come. Your evidence is the ego has the evidence of push is of the positive intention only. Then space, time, circumstances, and nimit will come together to get the work done. But your role in the relative level is the ego of the intent of doership, that the best work should happen, and then see what happens. The circumstances and limits will arise accordingly. Have a correct intention. Have the positive. Have a correct positive intention. Yeah. So in ignorance, because you see, we say that the brakes are only applied through speech only, because it says the discharge ego is taking breaks. You see, making breaks. But for Mahatmas now, it is the discharge ego that is making the break. The soul is purely the knower only. Yeah. Supposing if your speech has come out that I'm not going to do this work, I'm not going to do this work, then inside you have changed the right. I don't want to put this kind of a break. I'm not the doer. I just need to know what is happening. That is all. I know that the Prakruti is under control of scientific circumstantial evidences. SCE is the doer. We will see what happens. I do not want to verbally put a break on this Prakriti by saying, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. You see, so this is it. So, but our Prakriti Sahaj is natural. We just have got a key how to make to keep the Prakriti natural. File number 1, natural. The Prakriti natural. There is one. But all these negative talks are nothing but, if you tell somebody, then it is, so, if you tell somebody you don't know how to sing, why are you singing? That is that is a break on the Prakriti. You see, he says, you see, somebody says, why are you singing like this? I'm not going to sing anymore because they do this to me. At every time, if you say anything, where spoken words are big breaks on the Prakriti of the self as well as Prakriti of the other person. So you do not want to put any kind of brakes on the Prakriti of the other person, nor do we want to put any kind of brakes on the Prakriti of the self also. You see, it's small SELF, small SELF. It's the brakes. The causes for brakes is fear of insult and also opinions. The ego, you see, the ego presses different kinds of switches of the Prakriti. So then if you tell the ego not to do anything, then the ego will react and say, I don't want to do it, get lost, I'm not going to get involved. Well, the ego is one of the evidences of the Prakriti only, it's not the total, you see. But it is the owner of the Prakriti, so therefore you have to handle the owner of the Prakriti properly, otherwise it will react, you see. So it is important not to say anything negative, you see. You can tell him that if you do it like this, it's good, but if you do it, it's good, but otherwise, but if you put brakes on the Prakriti, you use positive words, you see, encourage the ego, but do not. It says, when you are negative towards yourself, that is all breaks, you're depressing yourself, you're being negative, you're having a poor self-image of yourself. These are all breaks of the Prakriti of the self only. And when the Prakriti of the self puts brakes on others, it kind of is criticizing other Prakritis. Yes. Supposing is on, but say we become the nimit, another person puts brakes. So slowly you have to kind of turn it around. So I thought you have to turn it around, but now we have to go and change it around. You have to change it around. Yes, this you can do it. So whenever you say no, don't do it, then you do it with scorn, and that is why the other person gets hurt. No, I don't want to listen to him. Even I know these original instructions are coming from that other person, Sanjay, and I'm not going to follow. You see, so. And then other person is really by big scolding other person, they instill a lot of fear in the recipient of the words, and that is not good. Now that Prakriti gets suppressed. Why don't you make him understand slowly? That is the best way to approach anyone. That is but you is by scolding him, you might feel that you get instant results, but that is not a correct way. So And then at the same time, you have turn the handle of the Nishchay, the S capital self, that I'm pure soul. This is all Vyavasthit. I want to settle files with equanimity, and also get the deeper understanding of the awakened one, that the nine columns are very good. You see, never hurt what I'm. And then also do the apply the words of the Siddha Stuti. I am infinite knowledge. I am infinite vision. I am infinite energy. I am infinite bliss. You see. And so this will break all the veils. For example, says, the Deepak Bhai give the example of the elevator, that when you enter the elevator, the light is the light of the self. You are the, and but this is not necessarily anyway. This you have to kind of go apply the intellect to try to kind of you make yourself say that this is the elevator, this is the button of the ego, etc. It kind of is a more complicated example, visual example. It is not exact. It's not sitting very well, so I'm not going to translate it. You see, but the example of the bicycle is you see, when you're driving a car, if your handbrake is on, then the car will not ride smoothly. Yeah, the car is driving, but the car is not driving smoothly, and therefore let go of the handbrake, and then the car will drive smoothly. And that is a good example. And the Prakruti is the car, and but you have applied the handbrake. So the knower should not apply any handbrakes. The knower is the driver. So chapter 1.4, see Prakruti as flawless. Who is at fault in this? Prakruti, the non-self complex, is very natural, but the intellect creates interference. Prakruti may not like to use the cooling fan. In that, where is the fault of the fan? Where is the fault of the Prakruti in this? That the fault is seen is due to the intellect and not the self or the soul. Circumstances bind Prakruti, and the worldly life sansar runs according to the Prakruti. Now, in this, whose fault needs to be seen? All these are faults of the Prakruti and the non-self, but one believes that these are the faults of the self, which is why this worldly life perpetuates itself. If he's not speaking properly, he says, why are you not speaking properly? Don't you know how to speak properly? Don't you have a tongue in your mouth? Why are you not speaking clearly? You see, so you're hurting the ego of that other person who is listening. It is wrong. And then it actually hurting his soul, because inside the Rainasile, the Amapura resides. So this is wrong. You see? And if the other person behaves according to the way you like him to behave, then you are nice to him. And therefore, you see, you are trying to control the other person in a certain way. And so this means that you are putting a big veil over your own Chetan, over your own S capital self. When all these interferences and artificial and breaks stop, then the Prakruti will become natural. You have to look at the pure soul. You have to see him flawless. And you have to see the field stock of the Prakruti, and then you will have the ability to see him as flawless. You see, when you say why did you do this, then it reaches his pure soul only. That is wrong. That means, so to seeing his pure soul should be with this kind of awareness. Otherwise, the fault hurts the other person. So after such magnificent shibits, you see, our awareness is very good. But why is our jagruti, becomes dim, our awareness become dim? You see. So why did you do it? Because you did it something wrong. You say, no, you are like this, you are like this. You see, you're constantly doing all of these things. In the worldly interaction, the words are very hurtful to other people. Therefore, you have to be very careful with the words that you use. So, the more words you speak, you need to clear off these words that you are a pure soul only. It is a fill stock. This is her fill stock. You see, this is the wrong words have come out. This is fill stock of both the people who are interacting as sticky files. And so, why you misspoke, this is wrong. Why did not tell me like this? Why did you go and you did not call me, etc.? And so if you find that other person at fault, then you have to do the pratikraman pratyakhyan and reverse from it and clarify your vision and purify your vision. These are all mistakes of the Prakruti. These are not these are not the faults of the Chetan. These are the faults of the Prakruti. But you believe that the other person is doing it, and that is where the error is. And therefore, You see? So, and so when the faulty vision comes out, faulty speech comes out, it is very hurtful. Natural speech is good. It is not natural, you see. So he will get so much hurt, you see. It doesn't touch the Prakruti, it touches the soul only, you see. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so one must have a very deep awareness and very high awareness on the speech that is coming out through his medium. Yeah, one has to be careful how the speech comes out. You should have that the other person is pure, the awareness that the other person is pure, and it is Prakruti that is functioning this way. This making freak. Supposing somebody does not know how to sing, and you say you have to sing, but if I don't know how to sing, and then what do I have to do that I don't know how to sing? Yes, we have 1,000 pads. Then sing a simple pad that you can know how to sing, and then whenever he sings, then just sing. And the moment they say, then you just sing it. You see, yeah. You see, you just adjust to them. That is all. You can't say that I don't know. On what basis can you say I don't know? Don't you sing in the bathroom sometimes? Even if you don't know, you're singing. If you don't know, then just say, hey, Dada, tujha karo. So jivo moksha. By singing, Pamo duniya na antrayo. So, sing. Me saune sharane. So he sings. He knows very beautifully. He's singing already. Sign in it. You're singing that you don't know how to sing. How can you say that he does not know how to sing? Yes, you know how to sing. Even if you sing 4 lines of the Aarti, Jaya Dada Bhagavan, you see, come on, everybody, just sing 4 lines of the Aarti. You can never say I do not know. You see, then you're putting brakes on yourself when you say I do not know. You always say yes I know, yes I know. You should never say I do not know. Why? If it doesn't come out in tune or in the right note, his own ears will hurt. Why do you have to? So sing something and you can say, okay, why don't you just come sit next to me and also help me sing? People are very noble. They will come and help you sing, you see. Say natural. Do I have to say yes in everything? No, remain natural. Not say yes. Remain natural in everyone, you see, in every matter. When you get it free, it is invaluable. Mafat means amulya. That which is free is beyond price. You should never say I do not know. You see, one doesn't even know how to do shave. You see, so when you say, it is not your own energy to say I do not, I know how to shave. You see, knowing and not knowing is not your energy. It is the energy of scientific circumstantial evidences only. Yes, there is no doership even in this knowing, and there is no doership even in the not knowing. You see, it is all part of the brain functions that are happening under the influences of scientific circumstantial evidences. In so many matters, the breaks are happening. In so many ways, the breaks are happening. And so that is why we are in this fifth era of the time cycle, the Kali Yuga. So when we clear up, then we will be suitable for the fourth era of the time cycle, which is where Lord Simandar is in the Mahavidikshetra. So first we want to improve the gross ones at the which is openly hurtful to others at the speech level, and then we have to stop that which is hurting your own self. Dada has said that if you do not want to eat, then you should not say that I do not want it. You say that I do not have the desire. The correct answer is that I don't. If you don't want to eat, then say give me another plate and just put it over the next plate. And so this, in other words, you can take it from the additional plate rather than allowing her to put it in your plate and therefore you have to finish it. You do not say I do not want to eat it. Just say naturally and nicely that I don't feel like eating it today. Today I don't think I can take it inside. Maybe I can take it a little bit later. Can I put it on the side now? You see, No, I don't give it to me. I don't want to eat it. Why do you make it? Why do you put it in my plate? That is not good. All right, that is not allowed. That is very hurtful to the person who has prepared it with a lot of love and she is serving it to you. But you can ask for an extra plate and put it on the side and then gently take whatever is needed on your plate. You see, whenever you put a break, there is insistence in the ego that is speaking. You see, I wanted to understand this a little bit more. So how should I apply it in worldly interaction? Supposing if somebody says, "Come on, sing something," and so okay, if somebody asks me to fly a plane, but we don't know. Somebody says, "Why don't you? Do you want to fly it?" When you want to go to Jaipur, just always say it will happen. The people in Jaipur will say it will happen. Why don't you improve your own self? Supposing somebody says, you see, it is not going to. I'm not going to fly a plane. You see, so how can I arrange it? You can say, you can tell them, listen, I have not learned how to fly a plane, so I cannot say this. Your intention is good, but I do not know how to fly a plane. But there is no other reason. You see, there is no insistence at all. Yes, you can do it. Yes. Even about singing, you can say, no, I will sing if everybody will be in equanimity, because the moment Dimple sings, everybody will be upset. No, no, you should not have any opinion. Be natural, okay? Be natural. Sometimes they'll say, because because I will have to strain my vocal cords if I have to sing this particular pad. Therefore, and you say, then I will have to sing it and so I have to sing a pad that I can handle, says Deepak Bhai. Pad means a spiritual song of Dada. Padya, pad. You see, a spiritual song, not of Dada. Pad means generally a spiritual song. Do you know how to sing? No. He said, do you know how to cook? He says, yes, I know how to cook, yes. Then will you cook for these 20 people? No, I know how to cook, but I didn't say how to cook for 20 people. Why are you telling me to cook for 20 people? There should not be any kind of an insistence, you see. You see, Sahajta is the opposite of insistence. You see, when you insist, you lose your naturalness and Sahajta. Sahajta means naturalness. Any kind of insistence and inflexibility is associated with loss and break over your naturalness of the Prakruti. And when the belief gets, you see, when with the insistence, the belief gets spoiled, and when the belief gets spoiled, then all the work gets spoiled, you see. Now, you know, he'll say, now I'm 57 years old and I cannot remember everything that is happening, Oh, yeah. And then the other one, the one will say, you're already old. How can you remember all of these things? You should never say, with age, I cannot really, I forget where I kept my keys. I forget where I kept my passport, etc. You should not ever say that. You should not say this is happening to you. You should, then the psychological effect will begin within your own self. The belief begins like that, then it becomes disturbed. You should never say, oh, because of age, I cannot walk properly. And therefore now your belief has changed. Therefore you will then walk like an old man. So never say anything negative, because before you say negative, there is the underlying belief that makes you believe that way. But it's just a wrong belief. Scientific circumstantial evidence is the door. Why should you? As long as you do not vocalize it, you are okay. But the moment you vocalize it, or the moment you verbalize it, then of course you have you have clearly placed an obstruction. But you should never say anything negative about your own body, nor say anything negative about anybody else's body. You're getting fat. Maybe you should watch what you eat. This is such a hurtful thing to say to another person, and you see, then you're going to make the other person even more sensitive. But but if you say it, even if you say it with love, it can hurt the other person. Therefore, it is important how you should say it to the other person. It is very important how you say it. If the circumstances are there, do it. Otherwise, do not do it. You see, otherwise, let's just say the negative. So words are very critical. The words hurt your own self and they hurt other people too. Therefore, be very careful. If supposing we remain neutral for our own, can we do it? Supposing somebody tells me to sing, then I feel as if, if I sing, then I will have a wrong impression. People will say, am I saying it really wrong, or is it because I want to I want to avoid the creation of a wrong impression? Really, it is like this. Because you cannot sing, because you have given an opinion in the last life that I cannot sing, I should not sing, I cannot sing, and you have said all kinds of wrong things about your ability to sing, and therefore in this chart it is happening. I cannot sing. You know the soul has got infinite energy. The soul can sing anything. Even a so-called bad singer can become a very good singer through his own energies, independent energies. So, and supposing, but when you say I can sing, of course I can sing, then your own ability to sing naturally will happen, whether or not it is. And singing naturally has got its own beauty rather than singing with the ego, is it not? So now, and sometimes, so then sometimes, and sometimes say, why don't they leave me alone? Why they always tell me to sing? I've told them not to ask me to sing. So the ego gets disturbed, and then the ego again, the ego disturbed, which is ego, does not allow you to remain natural. You see, the ego. So we have to, we have to do the nirikshan of the Prakruti. Suppose nirikshan means, supposing you have hung a camera on your neck and a video camera, and the recording is going wherever you're going, will it not continue to record everything only? Then you say, then it will say, okay, now this person, he's here, this person is here, this person is moving from this room, this person is moving in this room, this person is going here. you know you know so in other words, this is how it is. So whatever the film that was made in the last life is now unfolding in this life, and we just have to see the film of this Prakruti that was created in the last life. The movie of Claudia, the movie of Marcia was made in the last life, and it is exactly playing in this life. You cannot change it. It is all happening. So your role as a Amapura is just to see what is happening, and what Claudia is doing, what Claudia is saying, what Claudia is thinking, what Claudia is behaving, how she is behaving, what she is doing to others, etc. You see, so all the activity, the activities of the mind, speech, and body, etc., is all happening only. And but you see, when you talk to Claudia, when you talk to Daniele, when you talk to Marcia, then you see, then it is you are in the extra purusharth of remaining separate from it. You see, so when you are talking, they say, when you are speaking, that means you are the knower and seer of the Prakruti of Unisi, of the Prakruti of Nada, the Prakruti of Grit, and therefore you are keeping it separate from it. The first step is, therefore, you see, whatever is happening, that is the filled stock of his that is unfolding. This is the filled stock is discharging. It was the movie that was created in the last life, and it is discharging in this life, and we are supposed to remain the pure knowers and the seers of this only. And so, but if you remain separate from it, then then the hurtful language will stop. You see, but the ego tries to protect the speech. The ego believes that I'm speaking. The ego believes that I'm trying to improve the other person. The ego believes that I am trying to, but that is all wrong approaches. Natural speech is without the use of the ego. Natural speech is without the use of the ego. Natural speech is without the sense that I'm speaking. Natural speech is without the ownership of the speech, and that is natural speech. So just continue to see the film as it is unfolding. But we do not change the old film, but really we are aware of the new knowledge that this is how we would like to have the new film. You see, otherwise we can say, with the exception of the experience of the pure self, I do not want anything else in the world. Therefore, that is the best way, because that is your next intent. Otherwise, you can have at the relative level, at the relative real level, a sense that this is how it should be. That is all. You cannot change it, but at least you can apply your knowledge in it. But what happens in worldly interactions, that the work of Dada is going on. You see, supposing a department has been given to me, I give explanation, so I can yes or no. Yes, I can say that this will happen in this way, but our team is busy, so sometimes I have to say yes or no. The team has decided one way or the other. And this time, sir, so now we are going to go into this other types of work. But we say in the worldly interaction, we have to say yes or no. So don't you think we should have this kind of capacity? So the sense that I am saying yes and I am saying no, I am in charge of this department, that is what creates the hurtfulness and the hurt. You can you can say it without the ego, without the sense of the ownership of the words. That is what you can certainly do. You can say it gently. The other person will continue to have his insistence, but you can say, well, this is how it is wanted, so it is not going to work out this time. Yes, I can help you in some other way. See, these two other people are free. Can I assign them to you so that they can work with you, so that we can get the best work done? You see. So, but you want to control this entire department. You want to be the person. Please don't disturb me. This is how I have decided. You see, they say then we do not. So then you can are only trying to hurt the other person. You're putting brakes on his Prakruti. You are being inflexible. You are being stubborn. You are being forceful. You are being the boss. You see, and you are being the boss means uh, you have just become the Prakruti. You see, you are not allowing the scientific circumstantial evidences to take over the whole project. The issue, you must not disturb the oneness that you have with the other person. There should be no divisiveness with the other person. Supposing somebody comes to me to see, do you have any medicines? But I'm not a doctor. That you can say, I should be very clear that, listen, I suppose. Because like somebody asked me even, what should I do with my health? Then I should say, I'm not a doctor, so can you understand mind? I do not have medical knowledge, you see. So I do not have the medicine. So Sahaj Bhav is a very beautiful word. You see, on the one side, there is a Sahaj Bhav, which is the natural intent, the natural view. Everyone will accept the natural view, whereas insistent view, no one will accept. If you are insistent, then everybody will avoid you, and everybody will backbite you or talk negatively about you. So with the Sahaj Bhava means in a natural way, you are actually aware and you're adjusting to the needs of the other person too. Next one. Let us read further. So we're going to read further now. Really, there is nobody at fault at all. What is this? You see, in fact, no one is at fault at all. When the Prakriti is the doer, at that time the self is not the owner. At the time of the binding, the charging of the Prakriti, the small worldly self becomes the owner, the small SCLF, through the illusion. And at that time of the unfolding of the self, discharge, the S capital self cannot be the owner, because the soul without the illusion. What is Prakriti? If you go to the well and say, you are worthless, that gives rise to Prakriti. And then whatever is spoken is Prakriti. When that Prakriti speaks from that echo, from the well, would you not know that what you had said before, all these faults are of the Prakriti that were created in the last life, and they are now coming out of us echoes in the last life. If you tell somebody you are a very good man, you have good qualities, then you will listen in the next life that you are a very good person and you have very good qualities, you see. Today your mind and your speech and your intellect is speaking, and your speech is saying something negative, then it is the result of, these are the causes that you had filled in the last life. And then and so the Prakriti is now giving the results as echoes in. So now let us improve it. Why the mind is still having negative thoughts? Why is the mind still having sexual thoughts which are wrong? Therefore you can say, okay, you are having sexual thoughts, let us now recite the column number 6, you see. And so let me give me the energy to remain free from sexual impulses, nirvikar. So in the next life, the energies will arise in the Prakriti in such a way that there will be no sexual impulses. So we need to apply and set the new Gnan, the new understanding and new Gnan, that helps us in liberation. New Gnan and new understanding that helps in liberation. You've said that the movie that has already been made in the last life, but sometimes we say yes or no in this life. Is it not discharge? Yes, it is discharge. But you become one with it. You believe that I am saying it. Sahaj Prakriti means it is naturally speaking, but you need to be the knower and seer of the natural movie that is happening. Remain separate. This is the highest. But you see, the Ketan spoke like this. You can say that Ketan was forceful, then you know that Ketan was forceful. But it is not, your vote should not go that I spoke and this is I. You should be aware that Ketan spoke, and therefore people will say that Ketan, and then therefore you have to tell Ketan, you spoke, now you clean it up, you dirtied the whole thing, now you clean it up. As if you're speaking to the neighbor. But you see, you end up believing that I did it, I spoke, I hurt him, it is happening to me, and therefore you have become Prakruti Mai, you have become the Prakruti. If somebody asks you to give some kind of an answer, then you can say, you know, this is not in my territory, I have not studied, but let me do some studies and then I will give you the answer. He says, I know that I'm, you know, I know I'm not the speaker, but at least, but if you know, don't insist that I give you an answer. You know, if it's not, if I don't feel like answering, I'm not giving an answer. That means ego has come in. You are neither the giver of answers or the good answers, nor are you the giver of bad answers. The answers are all happening as part of SCE, but you believe that you are the doer, and that is the problem. You see, and therefore the interference is happening. But if you do not enter into this mixture, then you're fine. You become the Prakruti, and that is what causes the disturbances. And it is, you know, because of lack of awareness, Jagruti, you become Prakruti Mai, you become Tanmayakar, you become, I told you not to do this, why are you doing it? You see, and so you're reactive in this. And that is why at that time, you see, he says, you know, if somebody says Ketan is going to say no, no only, he's going to say no only. Therefore, you also have to talk to Ketan and say, Ketan, see, people are already having such photographs about you. They know that you're always going to say no. You know, you can say that, you know, come when it is adequate to you, you know. Try your worldly interaction in such a way that the person will not get hurt, and your worldly interaction is suitable for the resolution of the other person who is a file in front of you, you see. You know, if there's a big storm and somebody else's sleeve touches your sleeve, will you get upset? But he says, right, somebody else's shirt is hanging, and in the heavy storm it hits me on the head. Do you know somebody? But he says somebody is supposing it's a hanging shirt, and now there is a hand inside that sleeve. And in the same way, are you going to, in the same thing? These are all the storms of scientific circumstantial evidences only. It is a flying sleeve that is hurting me, and it's a flying hand that is hurting me. You see, and you can say, if it is hurt, oh, did you get hurt? Ketan, did you get hurt? It is your account only. This is your account to get hurt only. Inside, separate from the one who got hurt, but do not become the one who got hurt. Separate from the one who got hurt, but do not become the one who got hurt. You see, through our mind, speech, and body, with this kind of separation and understanding, you will not hurt anyone through your mind, speech, and body. But you see. So when you remain separate, the words of it, there is not any honor. That it gives very beautiful effects. You see, how can Prakruti change? On page 113, and the questioner is asking, how can the nature of the Prakruti, which has been established for many years, be changed? Dadashri, if you know your Prakruti, the form complex of mind, speech, and body, that this is a fault in this Prakruti, if you know that this much, then it is enough. That means your nature has changed. You're knowing it, that means your nature has changed. Your nature, why capital S? It is more than enough if you, the awakened, know a mistake as a mistake. It is a great Purusharth of the Purush to know a mistake as a mistake. It is a Prakruti, and this is very important. You see, this is a very beautiful sentence. It is a great Purusharth of the Purush of the self to know a mistake as a mistake. It is a Prakruti, and a Prakruti will not change. The Prakruti, which is already formed, will not leave its nature. But to know that a mistake has happened is the greatest Purusharth of the awakened one, the self only. You don't have to change anything. Just know that a mistake has happened. That is all. This is a mistake of the Prakruti only. And that is a very big Purusharth of Purush. You see? And then he says, and it is my mistake, and it should not have it. I need to get rid of this thing in my Prakruti. That is very wrong. You cannot do it. Before you used to believe that it is my mistake, but it is not your mistake. It is the mistake of the Prakruti. I am the knower of those mistakes. I need to, by becoming Tanmayakar, the body-mind form, the mistake entered into the Prakruti, and by remaining the knower, seer of that, the mistake will go away. Will the faults of the Prakruti decrease by seeing the Prakruti? She says, except that there is no other way at all. If you have the intent to be rid of the mistakes, then they will decrease. And if you do not know, if you do not have this intention, then they will remain. Questioner, but many qualities of the Prakriti are good too, and many qualities are bad too. Dadashri says, if you want purge all of them, then do so, or purge those which are wrong and are hurtful to you. Next, it happens according to the Prakriti. Otherwise, everything else is according to Prakriti. One is going to do according to his Prakriti. Not everyone has to sing. A singer will sing the songs. Each person does according to his Prakriti. Again, the singer came to talk. Let us see what Dadashri says. Each person does according to his Prakriti. Why do you have to look for faults in it? He does it according to his ability. You cannot make him do according to your design, insisting that he has to follow only your design. There cannot be such rule. Where is the mistake when one does according to his Prakriti? Is this a department of judges? Everyone does things according to his Prakriti. I too do keep to do the work according to my Prakriti. One has Prakriti, does he not? Questioner, one forgets just that, and that the other person is not the doer. The other, she says, yes, there is no problem if that awareness prevails. The principle says that, we do not want to use our will on the other person. We do not want to become willful. You see, you can, but we should not. There should not be this. There should not be the slightest pressure on the other person. Because we always try to do it according to our will. Let we do not allow it to remain sahaj and natural. We became the doer. We want to have it our way. We want to control it. And this is, and then let it, just like there is a Prakriti of ours, he too has a Prakriti. The other pure soul also has a Prakriti. And so, and if you get the work done depending on his Prakriti, then very beautiful work will happen. Niruma had that art. She would get the best work out of the other person's Prakriti without disturbing their Prakriti, without hurting their Prakriti. She had that vision. And then everybody would enjoy doing the work when Niruma was guiding them. She will know, she will understand, she will study it, and then she will decide which is the best work for that Prakriti to do. And so then she will give the best work for that person. And if she has given something that the other person cannot adjust to, then she will slowly withdraw that work from that person. So there should be no insistent in there, and there should be she is not willful in that. She is constantly saying in which way the other person will adjust to the work that she is able to do. So, questioner on page number 116. Questioner, one forgets just that the other person is not the doer. The other, she says, yes, there is no problem if this awareness prevails. Worldly life, sansar, arises from the moment one sees the fault in others, and it will not be resolved until this mistake is destroyed. One will remain entangled. Not even for a moment we have seen a fault in anyone, and if we do see any, we will tell him right away. Right to him, we do not hide it. We tell him that we see this fault. Accept it if you have a need, otherwise leave it aside. I will say. Questioner, you say this for his own salvation, right, Dada? She says, we say it to caution him so that he gets a solution. And we, as a Gnani Purush, do not have any problem if he does not accept it. We do not have problem at all if he refuses adamantly to accept it. We will tell him to do it this way, and there is no problem if he does not accept it. Questioner, you do not have any problem, Dada? Dada, she says, I know on what basis he is saying this. He is doing so on the basis of the unfolding karma. It is not that he wishes to obstruct my ajna, does he? He does not wish that at all, so we are not liable. We have to turn it around when he says anything negative as a result of unfolding karma. If any Prakruti loses control, then in that situation, we have to restrain it promptly. It will do complete harm to itself, and it brings harm to others too. However, ordinarily, Prakriti keeps making mistakes indeed. Everything in this world are Prakrutis only. Everything is in the world is Prakrutis only. This is at the level of Dada now. Dada is telling, Dada might show the mistake to somebody, but Dada has no insistence at all that this is wrong or right, etc. Dada, 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 if for for 2 to 5 years, Dada would be into tap or inner penance only and not say anything. Will allow the scientific circumstances, evidences to come and let through nimit namitik let it come out. Will go into penance only and they will not say it immediately. And then even after he says it, he would be have the awareness that he may accept it or he may not accept it. He knows that it is. Yes, okay, you see, there are mistakes of the Prakruti, but it is only that you can see that these are mistakes of the Prakruti, but there is no insistence on the part of the Gnani or yourself that it has to be stopped or it has to be changed or it has to be manipulated, you see. So, you see, now we know where Dada is standing and we need to know this, we need to, our view also we should be like this. Really, they are all pure souls only and they all have the energy and the ability to see their mistakes. So that why should we be the ones to point out their mistakes? Why should we be the judges in this? We should not, and we do it through rag and dvesh or moha, the illusory attachment, you see. And then we want to do it, we have this, so then the other person will react and he does not improve. And then we see him at fault because he does not listen to us thereafter. Therefore, so there is a lot that is happening inside. I do remember Niruma. Niruma too, if she says something, so she will do pratikraman to 2 to 3 hours that I have said something. That she applies her own awareness of the words she applied to correct you or correct somebody else. And then again she will have a sense of prem, love, and avetta, oneness with the other person. And so many people will feel, here, if you show somebody's mistake, it's a very wrong thing, because to show anybody's any mistake is a very wrong thing. You see, you should have karuna and vitragta inside, compassion and absolute absence of rag dvesh in this. You should never get in that. So, and then in the same way, this is exact karuna and vitragta of our Gnani Purush. He never interfered, and you see, this is how he is teaching us now. You have so many positive towards everyone, says Deepak Bhai. Do you have it this continuously? Our egos come in. This is ego comes in. The ego comes in, and it happens. Does it happen to you? I'm on that road and I'm going in this direction only. Yeah, there are some mistakes also, but I do have it in my ears. But I do have in the vision that he is pure soul only and he's flawless. But I know that by scolding he never improves, so I never use that approach. And by seeing him in fault, nobody improves. Therefore, and the correct solution is to make his understanding, try to improve his understanding if he comes to ask. You see, I never tell you to throw away these false marbles that you are playing with. All I teach you is to how to become a jeweler so that you can recognize where the true diamond is and stop playing with these glass marbles of life, you see, and the life pleasures, you see, and to become a true jeweler so that you can appreciate the beauty of the soul that you are, you see, the beauty of the soul that you are. You are you are the absolute soul that you are like me. We are all. We are 6 people, you see. We are 6 people. My hangover is gone, but we are 6 people together. We are all in this together. But my illusion is gone. My hangover is gone. Yours is residually there only. That is the only difference. That is all. You see, the one whose hangover is gone will not find any illusory attachment or pleasures in this relative world. You see, and will be always yearning for the bliss of the self and the true beauty of the soul that is all around him, the true beauty of all the gods that are around him. and that is the oneness, you see, that is the beauty of the oneness with other human beings, you see. And this is how it is all. He has no separation from the other person at all, you see. Heading? As many layers of Prakruti as the variety of Vikalp. Vikalp means I am this body. Questioner, Prakruti that appears very quiet, is it suppressed or is it in balance? The other, she says the Prakruti that appears active is considered in balance, and even that which appears quiet Prakruti is considered in balance too. It cannot be considered suppressed. Suppression has nothing to do with it. A man may appear calm even if you slap him. Therefore, it is not suppressed. It is not also, it is also not brave. It is not through gnan, just through Prakruti. It is like that. The Prakruti is either calm or she is very uh, aggressive. That is all. Questioner, then how many layers of Prakruti there are? The other says that there are as many layers of Prakruti as there are the variety of Vikalp, beginning with the belief that I am Chandubai, I am Unisi, I am Katya, I am Nada, you see. I am an engineer, then I am the engineer, I am the singer, I am the spiritual leader, I am so and so, etc. And so this vikalp, then this is my home, this is my country, these are my people. You see, these are my. See, I am this, I am doing this, and this is the subatomic particles get charged when you say I am Eunice, I am Daniele. You see, and and so depending on the nature of the vikalp, then that kind of the causal intent happens in the causal body. Energy increases as the Prakruti reverses to naturalness from the lack of control is the heading. Questioner. Dada has said that if a Prakruti that has gone beyond bounds and norms reverts to naturalness, then the energies increase a lot. Dada, she says, yes, there will be tremendous rise in energies. Questioner, how does it happen? Rather, she says if a Prakriti that has gone haywire and beyond natural boundaries becomes natural, there is tremendous rise in the inner energies and it pulls out a lot of energies from outside. What will happen if you pour water on a large hot iron ball? It will consume everything, will it not? It will not even let a single drop drip down. In the same manner, such a Prakriti which has gone very haywire and into extreme is like a red hot iron ball, and later returns to cool down and its energies try to increase amazingly. If a person has gone in the wrong direction, in extreme wrong directions, when such a person, when he goes in the right direction, the same energies that made him go in the wrong directions of Kusan will be very beneficial, and he will make fantastic progress in the spiritual realm, in the side on this side of the line of demarcation. So the Gnani knows how to make a U-turn, make a U-turn, make him take a U-turn. You see, he was going in the wrong direction in full speed, and now he will go in the right direction full speed. You see, right now. So nice. And Dadashri says we know how to do that, and Niruma says we know how to do it also. We can change his steering in the absolutely opposite direction, and then he is. These are all called these are all very Vifreli Prakruti, very haywire Prakruti. They're very, uh, but they don't have much sexuality or greed, but they have a lot of the energy of pride only. You see, they're very sensitive and they think they're something, but they've gone in the wrong direction because they believe they're something, but they have not been appreciated, and therefore they go in the wrong direction. When they change, they can do very well. It's their ego. Okay. Yes, yes, sir. We have, and here people with Vikrut means distorted pride that has gone to extremes. And when they turn it around, then they do very good. They do not have any storms of sexuality or greed in that. And then their pride has improved through knowledge and through right understanding. And then they're totally surrendered to this, you see. And they turn around and they come back. And when they Vifreli Prakruti is such an extreme Prakruti, when it turns around, it does very beautiful job, when beautiful work of Jagat Kalyan, you see. Eventually, both are with Rag. Let's read further. You will be able to maintain with Ragata on page 120 if you become acquainted with the other person's Prakruti. For example, if a rose plant has thorns that prick you, so it is decided that the rose plant, you see, when you understand the Prakruti and then become suitable to the Prakruti of the other person and then settle. Now, how do we understand the other person's Prakruti? For example, a rose plant has thorns that prick you, so it is decided the rose plant will always have thorns. Her microphone is not working. Okay. Battery is gone on the microphone, on these remote microphones. All right. Now she's asking a question in a minute. Do we have to see? Yes, we should see the other Prakriti is flawless and faultless. Yes. You do not put brakes on you and see the other Prakriti as flawless. Now you see on both sides, you should not put any brakes on the other Prakrutis, and by accusing the other Prakriti, kind of negating the other Prakriti, criticizing the other Prakriti, finding faults with the other Prakriti, you see, keep her pure soul separate, and then you see, in the same way you should see, you can see the other person as flawless, and when you see your own mistakes of your own Prakriti, then you will not say, you should see, you should just see that you see the faults only in your own Prakriti, not the faults in the other person's Prakriti. You see, by seeing the faults only, it clears, not by really clearing them. The seeing is the clearance. You cannot change them, you cannot move them around, you cannot get rid of them, you cannot take a shovel and throw them out, you see. So you should just have the inner understanding that this is not, it should not be so only. We are just changing our current knowledge only. That is all. We are not doing anything else. Okay. And then we talk about this Prakruti that is Vifreli Prakruti. That is a Prakruti that has gone mad, the Prakruti that has gone crazy in the wrong direction. He does have tremendous energies, but he's just gone to an extremely wrong direction because he does not understand, and you see, examples are there. He creates a lot of storm. Vifrali Prakruti creates a lot of storm. He disturbs the whole household. He goes and spends whole nights in nightclubs, etc. You see, his pride has been seriously hurt, so he deliberately goes wrong. Our gathering of Mahatmas here is mostly with there are many who have taken a lot of beatings because they have had very complex prakrutis of Vikrut prakrutis of man, a lot of heavy duty pride that had gone in the wrong directions, and now through Gnan they have all come here, you see, and now they've seen how extreme their prakrutis can be in the wrong directions, and therefore now, and when you turn, and now he knows how to. You see, now he has gone in the extreme direction, therefore he has the energy to turn him around. Dadashri says, and Dada himself says that the extreme heights that I have gone to the height, I can. I had the total ego of all the Gujaratis combined together. I have a very heavy ego. I and but the entire energy to melt all egos came in only. Because the heavy Dada had a very heavy ego of pride only. He took a lot of beating because of that. And when he sat down after taking the ego, then and then this knowledge of this Gnan manifested in him in 1958. He says, if somebody says, if he forgets to say Ambalal Bhai and just tells him Ambalal, he will not be able to sleep the night. You see, so there was the heavy ego of pride without any minus. He did not have any minus, any deceit, any greed. He did not have anything else, and that is why he was. Supposing the Vifreli Prakruti hurts the other person, and supposing Prakruti Thai, to Vifreli Prakruti, only when the extreme Prakruti becomes Sahaj and natural, then it can be very good for other people. He can, if he meets a Gnani, he gets a Gnan, then he becomes natural in his Prakruti, then he makes a lot of difference. Yes, in this group, I'm not giving anything specific. If there's 100 students, you see, but then is one student, the monitor, you see, who does the teacher make the monitor? Because he knows he has done all kinds of storms. He knows he has gone through all kinds of negative behaviors, and now by making him a monitor and in charge, he knows how to control all extreme negative conduct of other students. You see, but a mild student who has never done anything wrong will not be a good monitor. He will not be a good leader. You see, in the whole, whoever he is, the worst person is finally given the role of the security guard. The worst thief, when he changes around, he will be the best police commissioner, because he knows all the ways in which people go in the wrong directions, you see. So the energy that takes you to the extreme levels in the negative is the same energy will take you to the extremes in the positive too, you see, in the relative world. And now these are all, and when he meets me, this is Dada, then then with our Vitrakta, Karuna, Prem, and Abhetta, with my Vitrakta, with our compassion, with our love, and with our oneness, the man feels tremendous positivity, and he loves our Gnan. It changes completely around because of negative. But what about other people have negative opinions about such an extreme Prakruti? Yes, yes. So when they see this is a total change in his Prakruti after 7 years, they'll say everybody will follow him, because they'll say, wow, he's changed around completely and he's now going to moksha. So this is so if he has come here, this doesn't happen. Many people come in this gun. There are some extreme robbers and cheats and serious negative elements, you see. When they become saints, they are excellent saints, you see. You see, when he said, then there's, and there is major transformation in their hearts, because many saints were very negative human beings, and then one day they become saints, you see, because yes, there are such. And so the main thing is that this energy has expressed in human beings. Yes, these energies are manifest in every human being, but with the Sant Purush or a saint, or with Gnani Purush, as with a saint or the one who is awakened, or a Gnani Purush has the energy to turn such human beings around. Sat Purush, Sant Purush, and Gnani Purush. The Sat Purush are all Mahatmas. Sant Purush is Sat Purush are all Mahatmas. Saints are also worldly saints, and Gnani Purush you all know. Let us now read, okay? Eventually both are vitrag. Let's read it again. All right, now I think we've come to the time when there is time for the energies. Okay, now they just, I don't know what the... Some announcement being made now. And they're showing some... And they're showing the family of Dada Bhagwan Parivar. The BMHT, B, it goes away and the MHT remains. Then there is the LMHT, and then there is the YMHT, Y Mahatma, and then is the women Mahatma and the male Mahatma. And now there is the PMHT. What is the PMHT? It's a small video, a new concept being introduced in Akram, in the organization of Dada Bhagwan Foundation. Not in Akram Vignan, but in Dada Bhagwan Foundation. Energetic, enthusiastic, etc. This is for those, is a project Mahatma. The one who wants to be connected in some or the other project of Dada, and he wants to apply his skills for Dada's work. One who wants to give his service and to Dada, and yet he wants to maintain his career in relative life, wants to maintain his married life, and he has not yet decided about brahmacharya or abstinence from sexuality. So these are from 21 to 28-year-old people, young men and women. For this is a special group that is called the PMHT, or the Project of Mahatmas. They're unsure about whether to give up the life of sex. Then there is a Y plus. There is a Y plus means you stop sharing. So then this is the young Mahatmas who are getting their satsang. There's the youth Mahatmas. You see, there'll be different groups are being introduced, and for more information, you need to contact. If you are a male, contact this number, and women, Jai Sachidanand, that's the end of this. All right, now let's see what happens. Will you please speak a few words, Pujya Deepak Bhai, on this? On PMHT, Project Mahatmas. They are neither sure that they want total dedication towards this cause, but they have many young men do not know which line to take in life. They don't know what to do. So then different classes are open, then they can attend. You see, they don't know whether to be which university. So what you mean? The different classes are available for every age. There should be something. Then the 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 20, 21. Now there is a new group called 21 to 28. You see, so there is. So depending what line he will take, it is on the account of Vyavasthit only scientific circumstantial evidences. So it is this the right vision in life will open up, you see, and whatever it comes in, you see, so, and because just so that we can be continuously on the Purusharth of moksha only. But the greatest thing is to give service to Dada satsang of Dada, and to remain in the five agnas, and to whatever is unfolding in our life, then finish the life. What line we take is we don't know, but whatever decision comes will depend on. But at least one can remain in this group only. This is a very beautiful management. A lot of people, we do not know what to do after 21 years, between 21 to 28. So after the youth MHT opens up, we do not know what happens. So this is good for youngsters, who finish by the age 21. Young Mahatmas by MHT, they finished their role at 21, but beyond 21 to 28, they did not know. And that is the age when most get married, in India. And so this is the age of indecision. So this is a new thing. So we should understand this is the grace of Dada that this is all opening. Whatever is depending on the merit karma unfolding in the collective group, then such groups are available at least now in India. A beautiful, and it will also happen elsewhere in the world too. It is very beautiful that is happening. Jai Sachidanand. And my announcer's audio is not very clear. Jai Sachidanand. So now this break, so we are you see, and now he's giving the nitty-gritty details of what these people are going to do in the PMHT group. Okay, all right. So we will not be demanding attendance in this, and they just changed that. Before they were wondering whether they should have. Now we are going to go into the Arati of Dada.